In this video today, we are going to talk about Social Security under Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. And given what an important part of retirement Social Security income can be for many, it is pretty important to take a look at what the differences might be under different future administrations. Now, both have kind of made bombastic claims about the other side, how terrible the other side will be for Social Security, but I think we need to kind of cut through all the noise and get an idea of what each candidate has actually said or proposed in the past, and how that might impact you and the future of Social Security. Now, my name is Scott Caulfield. I am a CPA and a CFA charter holder and the founder of Sophos Wealth Management. Both Trump and Harris have basically said they are trying to protect and strengthen Social Security. They've also both said the other side is going to be terrible for Social Security and claiming that they might cut it or do this, that, and the other. But I think the reality is, given where politics are here in 2024, neither can cut Social Security. So that really shouldn't be a concern, at least in the short run, for anybody. Now, where are some of the key differences between the two? Well, Trump, his big thing now is no taxes on Social Security. So currently, up to 85% of Social Security benefits are subject to taxes. Although I believe something like 50% or more end up not paying taxes on those, just given the way the tax code works. But up to 85% of benefits are taxable. So let's just go to Trump real quick and hear from the horse's mouth himself. What does he have to say?
They're going to destroy your Social Security, but I will not cut 1 cent from Social Security or Medicare. And I kept my promise for 4 years that I will keep it again. And seniors should not pay taxes on Social Security. And they won't. They won't.
All right, so Trump, during his first administration, didn't touch Social Security. I think it's highly, highly unlikely in a second administration he would make any changes to the current benefits. But the whole not being taxed thing is interesting. If you are currently a senior or soon to be and you're paying taxes on those benefits, this might mean your after-tax cash flow is going up. That would be pretty nice. Now, there is a question, though. I mean, in 2033, 2034, the Social Security Trust Fund is set to expire, or set to go negative. It's supposed to go run out of money. So, reducing an income source is probably not a great thing for the long-term health of Social Security. Now, if you look at this, in 2023, the taxes on Social Security benefits amounted to about 3.8% of the money taken in for Social Security income. So that was $51 billion in taxation of those benefits, while the whole program took in $1.35 trillion. 3.8% is not a huge number, but it just compounds the problem that we already have. We are spending more in benefits than is sustainable. So it may be not a great idea for the long-term health of the program. But I do think if you look at Social Security, this issue is not going to become a crisis until 2033, 2034. That means, in my opinion, politicians are unlikely to do anything to shore up the longevity of this program until it is a crisis, because that means you're either increasing taxes today or decreasing benefits. And neither is popular, and decreasing benefits is basically political suicide. And you can see that because both candidates are attacking the other, claiming that they're going to slash benefits and be horrible for current recipients, because that is a political trigger, and that scares many seniors. And I think it is a scare tactic, and I don't think it's legit. Trump did not cut Social Security in his first administration. I would be very, very surprised if he did so in his second. Now let's turn to Harris. She doesn't have a lot of details about her exact policy plans on Social Security. Again, a lot of similar rhetoric around the way that she wants to protect and expand Social Security and Medicaid or Medicare. If you look at her tweet, she's talking about 89 years. It's made a difference between poverty and peace of mind. So again, I would be very surprised if she did anything to cut benefits. Now, when she was a senator in 2019, she co-sponsored the Social Security Expansion Act. Now, that was a bill along with Bernie Sanders that basically, I mean, the major thing is they were going to increase the payroll taxes. So back in 2019, when they proposed this bill, the cap on earnings that are subject to Social Security taxes was about $133,000, just under that. And in 2024, that's a little under $170,000. Once you make more than that, you don't pay Social Security taxes on those wages. That bill would have removed that cap, so high earners and ultra high earners would have continued paying taxes on Social Security. Obviously, that's a tax increase for a lot of wealthy or even just high upper middle class individuals. Harris has come out and basically repudiated part of that, saying I'm not going to increase taxes on anybody under 400,000. That may just be political rhetoric, hard to say. But presumably she may make a push to increase taxes for those earning over 400,000. That's been something that's had a lot of pushback in the past because, Social Security was introduced not as so much of a welfare program, but as really a retirement savings program. And its basic concept is that you pay in and you receive benefits based on what you pay in. And those who pay in more because they have higher earnings receive more in benefits. And that's kind of the way the program's always worked, although it has tilted, it's more favorable for lower earners who didn't contribute quite as much. They get a bigger percentage back. It's a better kind of deal for them than it is for high earners. But this would be a big kind of shift towards making this a little bit more distributive. And you can think of whether that's good or bad, but unquestionably, I think if you were to raise those taxes, that is good for the health of Social Security. Again, we're facing a real problem in 2033, 2034. We can make little tweaks now, such as removing the cap of wages subject to Social Security, that would really help bolster the long-term health of this program. So if you're not receiving benefits yet, or you're worried about future cuts, you could look at that as a potential positive. That being said, if you are earning more than that wage cap, this would probably be a negative, in fact, a big negative. You're going to get quite a bit less back as a percentage of what you're going to contribute now. So it really depends on your perspective on whether that is good news or bad news for you. And that's assuming it can even get passed. I mean, TBD, something like that would have to actually make it through the House and Congress and all that good stuff. So, and similar, I mean, if Trump wants to cut taxes on Social Security, that's got to make it through Congress as well. So unknown if he'd actually be able to get that done, although I wouldn't be surprised in that case. Either way, they'll probably say they have some mandate to do these things. So, and I don't think either of these kind of proposals, removing taxes on Social Security benefits or removing the cap on the wages that are subject to the tax, I don't think either of those are going to be super unpopular to where that's something that's unrealistic to be able to get done. So, to me, those are probably the two biggest things. When both candidates attack each other and say, oh, they're going to be horrible for Social Security, again, I think that's a lot of political rhetoric. I would be absolutely shocked if either was to actually cut benefits in any way. The other thing, too, with Harris and that proposal that was going to increase some of the Social Security benefits for, I believe, current retirees, although I haven't really heard any rhetoric around her trying to revive that. And it was also going to change the way that those CPI, those inflation adjustments were made. Unknown whether that would stick around either, or how big of an impact that would have. It was going to really focus on the CPI that seniors are subject to, so things like healthcare costs would be more heavily weighted. Things like big screen TVs are going to be less heavily weighted. You can kind of see some rationale for doing it that way. But anyways, hopefully this video gives you some food for thought if you're currently receiving benefits or likely to in the future. Appreciate it if you'd share this with anyone else you think would benefit. Like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for tuning in today.